We like to open the kid before you open the book. And by opening the kid, you need to know what happened in their life today. So we ask them to share their highs and their lows. I think it's about the time of the day that everybody stretch. Ready? Stretch. High, come on. And low. High. Come on, it's been a long day. High and low. Highs and lows. Okay. Now we're going to point to the sky, and we're going to bring a book down. Read. We're going to see what God has to say. We will include a verse of Scripture. Then we're going to talk. Talk. Then we're going to pray. And then we're going to bless. Make a little cross there, like an Egyptian. Yeah, very good. Okay. Highs and lows. If you only know your kids' highs, you don't know them. If you only know their lows, you don't know them. If they don't know their highs and lows, they don't know them either. This is about active listening and self-awareness. And some amazing things happen when you share your highs and your lows, and you're looking every day, to be honest, something good. There's got to be something good today. And you're honest about what hurts. I want you to think of a good thing that happened today. One good thing. Doesn't have to be huge. One good thing. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you to turn to someone near you and tell them that good thing. Can you think of one? One good thing. Ready? Share your high. Okay, stop. You know what happens neurologically when you share a high? A message comes from your brain at 100 yards a second. It speeds down to the end of the nerve cells. There are little bags of chemicals there waiting to be released. And a certain electrical message changes to a chemical message. It jumps across the synapse. It bonds to a protein on the other end of the neurons. And all through your body goes an electrical chemical charge at 100 yards a second that says, I feel good. Free drugs. Free drugs. You can medicate your mother every night. You can medicate your teenager every night. And as soon as you're done, after that laugh, it spills back and it's ready to go again. Have you ever laughed so hard you could hardly breathe? Right? Don't say anymore. I'm going to pee. Don't say anymore. Don't say anymore. Afterwards, you're exhausted, but you feel good. Free drugs. I heard a psychologist on Good Morning America once say that you should stand in front of the mirror every day and laugh your fool head off for a minute before you go to work, before you go to school. Whole minute. Look in the mirror. Some of us would rather cry when we look in the mirror in the morning. But look in the mirror and laugh as hard as you can. You know why? Because your brain does not know fake laughter from real laughter, and you still get free drugs. Now, this is only a theory until those of us here try it. So on the count of 3, I want you to turn back to that person you shared your high with and laugh in their face. Point to them if you want. Ready? 30 seconds. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep it up. 11, 12, 13, 14. Keep it up. 15, 16, 17, come on, 18, 19, 10, 9, 8, keep it up, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stop, take a deep breath, exhale, another deep breath, exhale, one more time, deep as you can. Hold it, oh, let it go, don't you feel good? You just gave yourself free drugs. I think there's going to be a sign out on the parking lot, come next Sunday, the church with free drugs. You're going to double attendance next week in this church. Why wouldn't you take the good stuff that God has built into who you are and let it out every night before you go to bed? Huh? It's cleansing. It's cathartic. It's beautiful. Now, if you only know your child's high, you don't know them. If you only know their low, you don't know them. And if they don't know their high and low, they don't know them either. Okay. So as wonderful and as important as it is to start with the good, it's maybe even more important to get honest about what hurts, to cleanse, to get out the garbage. If you don't take out the trash every once in a while, your house is going to stink a little bit, right? Yeah. If you don't take a sliver out, if you leave it embedded, if you don't get it gonna get you. What if you raise a child who's able to say what hurts today and get that poison out before it can infect them? If you ask a kid, how's your day today? Fine. You don't know anything if they say fine. You don't know anything, right? And they don't know anything either. It's when you say it. And there's a lot of neurology that will say, right before bed, the last 5 minutes is the most important education. It's the most important therapy. It's the most important mental health, physical health, and I would say spiritual health time. In the book Brain Rules by John Medina, John says that your brain literally replays thousands of times a night the little packets of the last things that happened to you before you go to sleep. You are replaying that in your rapid eye movement sleep. Those things go over and over and over thousands of times. What do you want to plant right before you go to sleep? Do you know they've done sleep studies and they found out that people who don't get enough sleep and who end the night with a negative, they go deeper and deeper into depression. Lack of sleep itself blocks the ability to think in positive ways. So if you can start with the positive, but then get honest about what hurts, and get that out so you don't have to dwell with it, it can be a beautiful thing. Some pain is like a blister. Leave a blister alone. It'll go away. Some pain is like that. But some pain is like a sliver, and if you don't get it, it's going to get you. The word salve and the word salvation come from the same root word. So do the words catharsis and catheter, but we won't go into that right now. Suffice it to say that if you don't have a cleansing road, that's the odo in the catheter. It's the road, odometer. If you don't have a cleansing road and you're not dealing with some crap, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. So we're going to do our highs, everybody. And we're going to do our lows. Barack and Michelle call them roses and thorns, highs and lows. Some people call them pows and wows. I like highs and I like lows. You know what happens when you share a low? A message comes from your brain at 100 yards a second. It speeds out to the end of your neurons. Little bags of aminopeptides and endorphins are released. They jump across the synapse. They bond to the protein, and all through your body at 100 yards a second. Painkiller. Tears, when you're crying, have a higher concentration of dopamine in them than when you're laughing. Painkiller. A good cry is a good cry. It's healing. Have you ever cried so hard you were exhausted, but afterwards you felt good? Yeah, why wouldn't you give that medicine? Why wouldn't you give that medicine to the people you love? I'm told that the average teenager in America knows 40 people today better than they know their parents. They can tell you more about 40 people than they can tell you about their parents. Why don't we change that? You know that by the time a child hits kindergarten in America, they have already spent more time with the television, raw hours, than they will spend with their father the rest of their life. Why don't we change that? American Family Research Council did a study. They wanted to know how much conversation are teenagers getting in America. So they put microphones in homes. They recorded all of the conversations, and then they excluded scolding and commands. You know how much time they found out? How much parenting the average teenager is getting in America? 37 and a half minutes a week. Multiply 37 and a half minutes a week times 52 weeks a year. Multiply that times how many every years you have your kid left with you. Divide that by 60. And you'll find out the average 13-year-old is going to get 162 hours of parenting. You know how many hours there are in a week? 168. The average 13-year-old in America has a week of parenting left. Why don't you change that? If all you did was 5 minutes a night, times 7 nights a week, 35 minutes, that's pretty close to the 37 and a half. You are basically doubling the amount of parenting your kid is getting. You are twice the parent as the kid next door is getting if all you do is 5 minutes a night. 5 minutes.